This is the e-commerce radio show. Welcome to episode 2.3. We're talking all about how to increase your conversion rates. Stay tuned.
This is the e-commerce radio show, where it's all about using the internet to generate revenue. And now your hosts, David Weinstein and John Schuster.
Didn't do it again. Hello, welcome to the e-commerce radio show. I'm your host, David Weinstein, joined here with my co-host, John Schuster. And today we're going to be talking about all things conversion rates and how we are going to take a multitude of traffic that you may be generating and turning those into actual customers. But first, John, what is a good conversion rate?
What is a good conversion rate? That's a great question. I think the numbers, we can throw out some numbers, but I think it's going to be specific to your store or your website, your situation. Mm-hmm. I think we were able to find some sort of general numbers on the web, right?
Right.
As far as a percentage. First of all, you got to measure it, right? You need to measure your conversion rate. What is that percentage of traffic that comes to your website and actually becomes a customer or a lead? That's one conversion rate. If you're in the lead gen business, like say you're this co-working space, a chiropractor, or a service-based business, you're going to have another conversion rate, which is, okay, they filled out your lead form, but then how many of those actually did you sell? Did sign up as a patient or signed up for a new website or whatever it may be.
Right. But as far as like e-commerce conversion rates are concerned, we did pull up a list of some basic examples, some basic percentages. And so this is the list that we came up with. So product conversion rate. So let's say that a customer lands onto your product page. A good conversion rate at this point is about a 2.59%. If they add their product to your cart, a good conversion rate is roughly about 10% or 9.
So you're saying basically based on your research,
based on my research that I spent hours pouring over.
So they were at 9.89. So let's say it's 10%, right? So 10% of your traffic to your e-commerce site should be adding something to their cart. Correct. And then from that, basically that 10% out of the whole website traffic, 2.59%
fully complete the. I would say
now,
that's
was that the average?
Or that's I believe the average. So
2.59%.
So if they go to your product page, 2.9% complete checkout. If they add it to cart, then that percentage goes up. But granted.
Well, 10% of your traffic adds to cart, and then 2.59% of your traffic actually purchases something. So I mean, speaking from a few of the e-commerce sites we work with, I want to say they do range in sort of that 3 to maybe the high of like 7-8%,
right?
For product conversion rate. And then that add to cart, that seems about right. 10% of your traffic. I think it's going to depend on the traffic, of course, that you're sending. If you have really like people who are just kind of reading about a blog post that you have about how to do something versus somebody actually searching for,
depends on what
solve
ads,
their problem. Like if I'm looking for like, let's say, give an example of a chiropractor. I might be looking for a chiropractor near me. And if I'm searching for something like that and I land on the service page, I probably am going to have a higher conversion rate than if I'm looking at a blog post about exercises that you can do to help you with your back pain or something.
Right. But I'm just trying to give out the base numbers here, John, before like going into how we can.
Well, we didn't even did we tease them at all? We're going to tell you how to make some money by improving. Your conversion rate is probably the most important metric that you have in your store. And so we outlined some basic sort of ways, not basic necessarily, but some ways that you could improve your conversion rate. So why don't we kind of dig into those? We can go a little bit more on the numbers, but I think let's just dig right in.
Right. Because all right. Sounds good. All right. So number one thing that you could do to improve your conversion rate, as far as we're talking specifically about your website and about what it is that you can improve upon in your website. I'd say number one, and probably the most important thing that you can do, is make sure that your website speed is very good. Conversion rate goes way down as soon as you get over about 3 seconds. I think if your website takes more than 3 seconds to load, the stats are about half your traffic will leave if it takes longer than 3 seconds for your website to load. And this is especially true on mobile apps.
Well, yeah. Well, we kind of broke up. There's a whole bunch of different ways that you could do it. Website speed, but all these under this guise of what you could do with your website or your landing page to improve your conversion rate, with website speed probably being one of the biggest ones that you could actually work on, having a fast site. And then I totally agree with you, like website speed, and we struggle with it. There's a lot of different things you can do if you're, depending on your site. If you're using a builder, that's always going to slow it down.
Right.
A couple of the plugins, I mean, we use WP Rocket. Right.
WP Rocket would probably be the number one that we would recommend. The reason being is that WP Rocket has a lot of different features, like lazy loading your images, which is super important. Has filters that will compress your CSS and code.
Lazy loading.
Yeah.
I think we lost half the audience when we said that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all these,
is this how it's going to go?
Listen,
this entire pod. This is how it's going to go.
We got to keep it simple for our audience. So, like, I think yes. Condensing CSS, lazy loading. We said if you have a WordPress site, install WP Rocket. That's a great thing. It has a lot of stuff out of the box. I think the other thing for the website speed would be optimizing your images or making your images, those file sizes better. Now, there's a couple.
Wow, optimizing images. Now we're losing half the audience.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of a big word. Basically, images are usually the biggest offender when it comes to website speed. And there's a couple of plugins that we've used that I think one of them is called Imagify.
I would recommend Smush Pro.
Imagify. Smush Pro and Imagify, both we've used. We use both those. So website speed. Let's go on to the next thing. Site navigation. Now, you wanted to bring this one in because you felt that was a big factor to improving the conversion rate.
Right. Because if a customer has a hard time finding your product, they're not going to convert, right? And so having a good ability to navigate your site either through good calls to action, good just search functionality, those would be things that I would recommend as a good product. One thing that we use a lot is we use a plugin called Searchanise, which is able to basically, if you type in the word, like for example, on this fabric printer site that we're working on, you type in the word Halloween, you're able to set your search results based off of what that is. You're able to see where customers are searching, so you can get a little bit better metrics on what products are really selling and which products are converting. And it just gives you the overall ability to set what you want people to search. For example, our client wanted to sort based off of newest to oldest products because they wanted the way that they ran their site is that they really depend on new arrivals, new product
customers
drops,
are always looking for something new. So if you don't make it easy for them to find it, you're going to hurt that conversion rate. You're going to hurt your likelihood of them making.
So we just activated that on the site today, and hopefully we're expecting to see a little bit bigger in conversion rate based off of those searchers.
Now, okay, so improve your site navigation. Totally agree. I think making that easy for people to navigate, that kind of brings me back to like mobile experience. And especially with menus, sometimes the mobile menu is not very good, but I think in general, you want to have a really good mobile experience, and back to the website speed being really important to that mobile experience too. But you want your site for almost every industry. Most of your traffic is going to be on mobile. There's a few cases in the B2B space, business to business, that where, they're getting more desktop users, but really mobile, I think for most of our sites, mobile makes up at least 55 to 60% of the traffic, even higher on a few sites, that it's all mobile. So you should be able to experience your site and be able to do everything that you want to do, make a purchase, and it should be just as easy on a mobile device. Right?
Yeah, exactly. As far as other things that you can do, like some simpler things that are not so technical and won't put you to sleep, I guess one of the things that you can do is really focus on giving your customers good product images. If you don't have a good product image, or if you have images that are blurry, it's going to lead to bad sales because nobody's going to want. You need a little bit more of trust. And speaking of trust symbols and having different symbols that show that your product is safe and it is secure is another good way that we add better to the conversion of.
Okay, well, let's speak. We're kind of jumping around here. I think the trust symbols are really good.
Right.
let's talk about trust symbols a little bit. I
Want
think,
to dive into it?
yeah, well, I mean, what's an example? So like, it's crazy, but in the old days, people used to put like a lock or something, and just that lock was like in people's head, added added sort of trust. I've actually seen it where even having like the credit card symbols on the checkout, Visa, these companies argue they spent millions of dollars in marketing to build trust, and by you having that on your site, you actually get that trust. Another one I think of is we don't talk too much about security in this, but that idea of having that lock symbol up in the browser where it's green and it says HTTPS, that I think is a great thing.
Right. And also just depending on what product you're selling to, just researching different trust symbols, like if you want to be like FDA compliant or get an FDA compliancy trust symbol or something along those lines as well.
Right. Whatever you have that you can use as a trust symbol. Another thing would be like customer reviews are a big trust thing, right? Showing those customer reviews or maybe something that somebody else has written about you, linking to that or showing that somehow. Those all work really well. Yeah. What are you doing?
I'm turning off my phone real quick. This is the first.
Hey, we're not supposed to be doing that, okay?
Not turning off.
How many times did I tell you turn your phone off?
Well, okay, fine.
All right. Well, I love trust symbols and reviews. I think that's great, and we find that increasing the number of reviews definitely affects your conversion rate. If you have a product site and you don't have any reviews, that's going to hurt your conversion rate. If they come to a page and there's like no reviews or there's like a negative review, does the opposite, right? It's going to hurt your conversion rate. So that's really important. We put a couple other notes about website page, landing page. I think checkout page. Would you want to say on that?
I would say the checkout page on Woocommerce specifically. We've been kind of dealing with this back and forth with a client where the checkout page is really important as far as like getting those final sales conversions. And Woocommerce itself, by default, I would say its checkout page is not the best. It's something that we constantly get complaints about. There is some resources. I believe it was called Checkout for WC is a good plugin that you could potentially look into using. It can basically create a Shopify checkout on your WooCommerce site, and it's something that we're definitely looking into at the moment. But getting that final piece of the puzzle like solved is important.
We had some I can think Sean wouldn't like that one though. There's one developer.
There's big arguments about whether or not like adding a checkout plugin to your checkout page is a good idea. We've had some bad experiences in the past, but it's something I kind of wanted to bring up as well, just because WooCommerce and its checkout has been kind of lacking, and we have noticed a little bit of bad conversion rates on the checkout.
Yeah, I mean, I do like the idea too. I've seen some checkouts where they even show some reviews, or they have some like customer service line information there if somebody wants to call in. I think that can help. Yeah,
and WooCommerce is trying to do a little bit better job with that. With WooCommerce Blocks is a specific app that's free that we were told supposedly can fix a lot of your conversion and checkout issues. But we found that it didn't connect to payment options, which is another big thing that could be a conversion loss.
Well, that kind of segue right into one of our other items would be payment options. We talked about this in one of our past episodes, in Trends. I think it was e-commerce Trends, is like giving additional payment options, like buy now, pay later being a big one to increase that conversion rate. Make it easy, have PayPal for some people is still a good one. But buy now, pay later, Visa, MasterCard, give them more options to be able to make payment, make sure it's easy to navigate those payment options. But I mean, I think that's a huge way. That's a huge way to increase. If you offer a payment, say you're a lead gen site or you're, some of this stuff isn't relevant to payment options, but if you're collecting payment, I mean, even for a lot of our customers, I mean, having them where they can save their credit card and just go month to month and not like charging them this huge amount for like a 6-month or an annual deal, I think it is big. I've always been super flexible on the website development side. Do you want me to break that into 4 payments or 5 payments or whatever it is? That definitely increases the conversion rate. You put also, I think, product images.
Product images. I think
you-
we talked about that already.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, product images.
I know
having
you weren't
great
listening to
product
me
images-
because it's impossible.
I don't listen to everything you say.
Yeah, exactly.
It drives me nuts. So lead gen forms, I think we talked about having really good forms on the site. Great. So let's move on. Those are a lot of the website page improvements you can make. Now we're going to get into some deeper stuff. And this applies to any time you're trying to make a sale. I think having good copy on the site. So copywriting, having good written copy that actually sells people versus just is there for SEO sake. Now there's a big difference because a lot of copy that we're writing for SEO isn't really thinking about things that motivate people for the sale. I think really good SEO copy might incorporate some of that sales copy into it. But I mean, we've had sales copy written that is almost like a story, and it's really not thinking about the headlines and the different things that you might want to have in your search engine optimized copy. But that is something you want to kind of consider when you are writing copy for SEO sake, thinking about, is there things on this page? Is there copy on this page that's actually trying to help people in the sense of, I'm trying to make this sale? Do you have a call to action like purchase this, or are you hitting on some of those motivating factors that why someone, what are those pain points? Oh, you can walk, or, oh, you can, your back pain will be relieved. And I mean, just thinking about that copy, sales copy, and a good copywriter can definitely help you with that. That's huge. You got to have a copy, and the copywriting also kind of goes into what your, I think, offer is. What is your offer on your site? For example, on a chiropractic site, for the lead, we might have a lead form, and we're going to have something like, get your free massage, or $49.99 gets you this special, 3 adjustments and this thing. Thinking about what your offer is. One of them, it might be an ebook. That might be that initial offer, which is, download our free ebook, find the best ways to get rid of your blank, right? And that's that first conversion rate for them, because they want to get them to download that ebook. For the chiropractor, it's getting them to come in for an appointment, right? And so that offering them something like a free massage works. We had another client use a e-commerce client, use a sample kit, buy the sample kit. Basically, we'll give it to you for free. Just pay the shipping. I've seen that offer used so successfully through a lot of things where it's like, you get the book for free, this hardcover book, just pay the shipping. The shipping happens to be like $10, but you get it for free. It's a really strong offer, and it helps to increase that conversion rate.
Right. I guess in a way, it's kind of like you're casting like as big of a net as you possibly can, grab as many potential customers as you can. And then as you kind of go through that sales funnel, it gets smaller and smaller until you get more of a consistent customer. Is that something that you would kind of say?
Kind of not really. I mean, your offer needs to resonate with your customer, right? Like, right. I've heard this before. Like, we could say, hey, everybody who watches this show today, we're giving away a free iPhone. But everyone wants a free iPhone.
Right. Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And so please take that back. I didn't say that.
Right. No, I already watched the show. So where's my free iPhone? No, it's my iPhone.
And no, but that would just attract the wrong kind of person. That wasn't somebody maybe that would be interested in learning about e-commerce or learning about online marketing and these kind of things we talk about. So I think your offer needs to be relevant to the audience for sure. Whatever that is, you want to attract somebody who's going to be a good customer for you. And sometimes if your offer is too broad and you, like I give the iPhone, you're going to have a lot of people who get into your sales funnel, especially if you're going from a lead to a sales, kind of like a chiropractor or other people where we get them to download the ebook or buy the free plus shipping sample kit. We might have an offer that's not very good, that we're going to attract too many people and nobody's actually going to purchase anything. They might just take that free thing and that's it. Right. And especially in the sample kit offer, you got to think about that, because you're not making money really on that first thing, that free book, right?
I've definitely have signed up for a lot of sample kit offers, and I've definitely not purchased anything from
right.
the
So
site,
yeah, that's where you get on the freebie sites and things like that. So you got to be careful with those.
Right.
What else? So I think we talked a little bit about the offer just now.
Call to actions, making sure that you have those readily available on the website, I would say.
I like that on the site, and thinking about the buttons a lot of times. Don't just put like see more or view more, or actually tell them to, click here to buy it now, or something more specific. What's that next action they're going to get? Right. Make the button like download your free ebook.
Or even like just get your free book or something like that.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Add that extra little bit of sprinkling of value.
Yeah, a few other things though, like thinking about on that page that you can do, or with your copy, with your offer, urgency, right? Having a reason to do it quickly, and it's got to be authentic. I mean, I go to these sites where they have a timer or something on it, and it's like
it resets every time.
It resets every time, right? That is so fake. I mean, that's going to kill the trust of your customers. Right. If you're going to use urgency, make it real. Like, make it real. Say, you know what, this offer is shutting down. This is only good for this month or for this weekend.
Yeah. If you want your free iPhone, you only have until the end of this video.
Too bad. By the time you watch this, it's over. David's not going to give you his iPhone. Oh, wait, we just got a comment.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah. I was super excited there.
Hey, but so the other thing is scarcity. So we talked urgency. I think another one is scarcity. I love scarcity. So scarcity might be to the first person that actually comments David's iPhone, we're going to give away his iPhone.
Right.
But so there's only one person that's going to get that, right? So scarcity is like, there's limited amount of these for sale. Right. In e-commerce, you can use scarcity. Maybe if you display the number of them in stock, or if you tell customers, like you're on a live and you say, hey, we only have 15 of these. And so the first 15 customers that purchase this are going to get it, right? After that, it's gone. So scarcity, and it's got to be genuine. Don't lie. Don't fake this stuff. I think it'll come back and bite you. It's better to be honest. Customers will appreciate that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've seen a lot of good Facebook Lives where they do like a gemstone sale, and it's the one-time offer, right? And so again, you want to build that trust. Don't do this maliciously, but scarcity does work.
Okay, and then I think these are all great ways that you're going to improve your conversion rate, and because you improve your conversion rate, you're going to make more money. You're going to make more money. That wasn't fake, by the way. That is really true.
Yeah.
So I think this is kind of our last part here, and this is so important. And I think this follows on everything. We're going to put a lot of things under the guise of the word retargeting. Retargeting usually traditionally refers to maybe a retargeting ad or something, but we kind of group a lot of things in retargeting. Retargeting is getting back in front of those people that came and showed interest in your business or in your service, and getting that sale. So there's several ways you can do that. One of the big ones with e-commerce, if you have a store, is going to be like an abandoned cart email, right?
Yes, absolutely. And we did touch upon this a little bit last week when we talked about the differences between Klaviyo, Drip, and MailChimp. But I believe all three of those, I can't remember if MailChimp for sure has an abandoned cart email.
Yeah, it does.
It does.
How you connected.
Yeah. So each of those three have an abandoned cart email, and making sure that, it is helpful, like as a customer myself, there's times where like I dink around, I go on a website, I add a t-shirt that I really love and I'm going to cherish for like my next Christmas or whatever. But next thing I know, like I get distracted by life and I forget about it. But luckily an abandoned cart email comes in the next day. I say, oh yeah, that's right. I was going to click on that shirt and go ahead and
there's even some that will do text abandoned cart. Yeah, which is pretty great. I mean, text has been blowing up, but text abandoned cart is awesome. I think from somebody who, if you don't have a store, there's still a good reason to follow up. So let's say, going back to that chiropractic offer with like the free massage, once they fill out that lead form, sending them some emails to basically kind of re-emphasize, hey, you got to call right now to make your appointment, or
Right.
you know, tell them the benefits of the massage that they're going to get, make them want that. We've even done that to sort of prevent refunds. So a lot of stores, depending on the product, they might have a high return rate. One thing you can do as soon as they make that purchase is send them some things that sort of reassure them that they made a good decision, right? So send them some testimonials and reviews of customers who've used the product successfully and love it.
Right.
Maybe your guarantee and just something to reassure them that they made a good choice. There's a bunch of other email automations. I mean, I think even to the example of one of our clients where we have an ebook that goes out to them, right? So they download the ebook. Now we can retarget them. We can send them additional things, basically telling them, hey, here's your ebook. And right now you might want to go do this and watch this webinar or watch this. Right. And then that's going to lead to the actual sale. So that follow-up is really important.
Yes, absolutely. And I had other examples in my head, and I just totally brain farted. I just completely went blank. As I'm talking, I'm trying to work my way back into it though. Yeah, and one day I will, but not at this moment.
I don't know. That's why I have notes.
Right, we're looking at the notes.
You know, there's a sales guy. I've probably told this before. I think Zig Ziglar said that if it's not. He might not have been the first one to say this, by the way, but if it's not written down, it's forgotten. So I live by that principle. But so next, retargeting. We're not done. Retargeting, advertising. Advertising is a huge way to retarget. And I've always really enjoyed Facebook retargeting. And until recently, honestly, it's worked really well. The iOS update has interfered with how well that Facebook retargeting is working now for me. So I'm experimenting around with YouTube retargeting, Google Ads retargeting, using these different channels to retarget some of those customers that came to the site and didn't make a purchase, right? And so that's something you don't want to leave off the table is running some ads to retarget people who didn't make the purchase or didn't become a lead, but they visited your site.
Absolutely. All right. And I did remember what I was going to say. So another thing about retargeting too is that making sure that your client base itself is happy, right? And the best way that I've seen this done is through a really good support channel, or really stay on top of support because it does build trust with their client. And I've seen some angry emails from previous customers on certain sites before, and then I'll be like, oh, well, there's no way that this person X is ever going to order again, right? And then next thing I know, I look into the order sheet and there they are again. Why? Because the customer support has been super well and super well
right.
managed.
So that's almost a little different than retargeting, but that is
a little bit different. But it is something I want to bring up.
That's how many times that customer is making another purchase with you, right? Increasing that lifetime value, right?
Right.
But I think you're right too, because if you get bad reviews, that's going to hurt your conversion rate, which we said as well earlier. So
especially on things like Yelp, because I know that Yelp, I don't know if you are able to hide any reviews on Yelp. And so the number one advice that I can give with that is if you get a bad review on Yelp, reach out to that person, say, hey, sorry. And make it, even if it's a bad review, if your response is good, people will see that.
Respond to those reviews and
people will see it. And then people will say,
don't be defensive. Don't be like, what are you talking about, you idiot?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that's
like John. And whenever I call him out.
What? I do not do that. So this, I think, also is kind of the response time or the follow-up. We have this issue with a lot of clients that are lead based, not so much on the e-commerce side, although it could also be e-commerce side, like what David was saying about support or something. If a customer calls or emails with a question about a product, that response time is going to really affect your conversion rate. There's a lot of evidence. There's a lot of studies out there that shows, if you get a lead, for example, somebody fills out your lead form, they're interested in buying your service, that the faster you respond to that person, the higher that conversion rate is. In fact, I mean, if you filled out a form don't do it on our website because it's probably a little slower. I mean, but probably. It should be faster. But I'm always getting on clients about this, have the front desk call that person right away. If they can do it the minute that lead comes in, the higher chance you're going to have of closing that person, because they're in that frame of mind, right? They're thinking about that product or that service when they fill that lead form out. And if you call them like 6 hours later or 2 days later, they might be busy doing something else. They've totally forgotten. They might even remember who you are.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly. Yeah.
So follow up quickly, I think is really important.
All right.
I think that's it. We just gave you, I hope we gave you a lot of value.
Yeah, I think we did. I don't know. Like, yeah, we definitely did.
Oh,
but it's like, why do you have to say we think? You got me in that mindset.
What mindset?
I don't know, like the self-doubting mindset.
Hey,
it's like
there's no self-doubt here.
So like
no flex.
this last 4th of July, there's this one lady that I was hanging out with, and she looked at a photo of herself, and she's like, "Oh, look at that goofy face." And I was like, "Why are you saying that about yourself?
That's right.
Look at that amazing, wonderful face of yours."
We brought a friend here today.
Yeah.
So we're done. Wait. Oh wait, should I have not pointed that out?
Yeah.
If you know what this is, mention in the comments.
Right.
And we will give you some kind of prize.
All right. And then as far as what's coming up, are we going to continue doing these on Thursdays?
Yeah. So we're going to do, I think today we moved away from Friday to Thursday to live.
Right.
I mean,
because we have lives.
I think we continue doing this question format, but maybe we're going to try to spin up some different kind of content. I'm going to a conference, Traffic and Conversion Summit, which is a big digital marketing conference in September. So maybe I'll try to do some stuff from there. That'd be cool.
That would be cool. Yeah.
I really want to try to do some interviews with some other experts.
Right. Because there's only so much we know.
And then hopefully we can do some question and answers too. Like, I mean, we can even deep dive into your website or something like that. So leave a comment and absolutely we can do that too.
That'd be kind of fun.
Oh, we're at 30 minutes. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, no, dude.
All right.
We each had a segment.
All right. Let's close it off. All right. Thanks so much for watching e-commerce or listening to e-commerce radio. If you're listening, watching, subscribe, like, comment. We appreciate it. All right.
All right. Bye.